Hey guys, this is the third mic to go. At the beginning of the campaign, you were still in the water cave, and you decided to try to close the portal below you by having Jimmy decided to rappel down. He tied off a rope and went down, but he failed his used rope check, and he tumbled and fell, took some damage, and landed on top of four undead elven archers and Balnazar and Kreetz. Um, After that, the rest of you managed to get down there through a million different ways, and you took the fight to them. You took care of most of the elves pretty quick, but there were also four zombies coming after you guys. The zombies seemed to last the longest in the fight. Balnazar was keeping open a portal, which seemed to be not to Hell or Shadowfell. It was nowhere remarkable. It was just it looked like it was just going into a warehouse. The most notable thing that happened during this fight is obviously Jeff turning into that crazy were-rat plague beast thing, which was actually kind of fortunate because it let him take care of Kreetz, and it was fun to see Alex try to stand toe-to-toe with something that was 15, 20 feet tall and took up four squares. Jeff managed to take care of that. He willed himself out by taking care of the Kreetz in his brain because they had been somehow linked through Kreetz's bite, transferring lycanthropy to Jeff. The fight continued on. Jeff summoned a bunch of rot scarabs, which were also squished pretty easily. Dicky finally killed an undead, so he lost his fear of undead. Once everything was killed, Jeff stabbed the slug with his claws as he was turning into a halfling again, and he threw the slug through the portal. The cave started to collapse. The chamber above you fell down around your ears. The stairwell collapsed, and you guys were forced to retreat through the portal. Once there, you closed another portal to Shadowfell, and you fought an undead goblin hexer that came through. You interrogated him. You figured out that you were trapped in an undead town, and that you would have to disguise yourselves and move through it to get out. The undead town was... you guys thought it was the same town Gog was teleported to. It was the people who were living their lives. There was the same patchwork of all the other races, which is important because in the encounter before that, Balnazar pretty much laid his plans out on the table about how his masters were trying to do good in the world by combining all races into one race and making everyone immortal with undeath. He said there's so much strife in the world, blah, 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 that he'll just unite everyone together in one race that's cobbled together from every single race biologically. Sort of similar to the Flood, or sort of similar to the Master in Fallout 1. Only not totally gross. Well, yeah, they're still gross. You then dressed yourselves. You did the Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca defense. You dressed a couple of you up like soldiers and dressed everyone who was small size or couldn't fit into the armor up as prisoners. You went into a barn to try to escape. You went through the town, which was bustling with activity, people living their lives. When you got into the barn, there were five women in cages, all pregnant. They were apparently breeders. Whatever that means, you haven't figured it out yet, or maybe you won't. You managed to free three of them. One was too afraid to go with you of what the undead would do to her if they found her. And you escaped with a dragonborn woman and two human women. The dragonborn was cradling an egg. Then Jeff went to cure his lycanthropy with the guru, who was some surly, like, they took our germs sort of guy. He did that through endurance, bloodletting, and through inhaling a special sort of incense. After that, you went back to Evander's Bounty with you got siege plans in the undead town, and you brought him back, and you begun making preparations for the siege of Evander's Bounty. You dug a trench, filled it with holy water. You made walls out of all the leftover buildings in Governor's Leisure. You you erected towers, and you put magic circles so undead couldn't get within them. You also conscripted. Well, you didn't conscript. You got the help of the Swedakra Dragonborn, who are a tribe of Dragonborn that live north of Evander's Bounty, but now they've They're living inside of Andrew's Bounty's walls to help protect the frontier from the undead. Their king Barcosa is also with you, and his wife was one of the Dragonborn that was in the breeder cages. You also set up several traps in Oth Valley, and you found Oth's grave, which was underneath a willow tree, and it was a simple unmarked grave that just says, "Here lies Oth." Alex took six Dragonborn and 6 humans with him, if I remember correctly, or maybe it was 4 humans, including the King Barcosa of the Dragonborn. You set up some punji sticks, bear traps, flaming logs, pendulum rock, basically all the stuff that was at the Battle of Endor, and you were able to whittle down the undead from 800 strong to 650 strong. So that's a pretty big chunk of their force is gone. After that, you managed to retreat before the undead could catch you. Some time passed. The undead made it to Evandra's Bounty, but not before Jeff took a small guerrilla G unit, outside of the city walls, and he started waging guerrilla warfare and scouting out the undead army and seeing what he couldn't do. Dicky found himself on the other side of the wall, and you guys determined that Dicky is the last one in your party that carries the disease. He grappled onto a drake to try to stop it, failed the checks, and ended up on the other side of the wall being escorted into the undead camp, talking to Balnazar. Dicky failed his bluff checks with Balnazar, so Balnazar decided to take away one of Dicky's pinky fingers. So Dicky's suffering some penalties from that. Seems like Dicky's always suffering one penalty or another. I don't know why. After that, he was escorted to prison. Jeff saw this, and Jeff decided to spring him. He used some of his soldiers to make a distraction, and he succeeded in his distraction. The undead were distracted, and Jeff snuck in, rescued Dicky. They took care of the guard, and also destroyed the undead's one ballista with the grenade that Raja made them that was made from a dragon's flame gland. So yeah, he sprung Dicky from the trap. Meanwhile, back inside the city, 4 of the undead have somehow snuck into the city and were performing some sort of ritual. You guys stopped them dead in their tracks and got the 3rd tome of ancient necromantic lore. In the book, you discovered there is a ritual for summoning a tower, and you think there is some way, when you summon the tower, you think there's some way that you can manipulate the ritual so that the tower breaks up as soon as it comes in through the portal in the sky and crumbles all over a good part of the undead horde when they mass for their eventual assault on the city. But whoever uses the ritual is going to suffer some alignment penalties or some other penalties that we can talk about next time we get together, discuss what we think would be fair. I have some things in mind that I'll bring to the table, and that's that. That was the last thing that happened, and I'll see you guys on Saturday, wherever we decide to play, which will probably be Concordia this time. So yeah, see you guys around. Toodaloo.